Hello, Covenant family. I've missed worshiping with you. Corporate worship really isn't corporate worship without a congregation. And when singing God's praises, for me, the more voices, the louder the chorus, the better. But I do love seeing all the Facebook photos of all the families worshiping in their living rooms. Saw some families grab their instruments to play with the band. And some of the pictures, the kids were dressed especially casual, but they were singing their hearts out, toys in hand. And you know, that's exactly the spirit that I'm after in our corporate worship services. That childlike faith and engagement, where you come as you are, without a barrier, with joy, basking in the beauty of Christ together as a family. You're thinking about the challenge of corporate worship through a live stream the last 2 weeks, whether that's being distracted, being disengaged, not just spectating or being part of it at all in the first place. Seeing all the expressive family worship showed me that I think we have an opportunity in the comfort of our own homes to really accept the challenge that I put forward in my annual report this year. Let me just read a little bit of that now. I said in my report, the worship culture of Covenant saw a major shift in 2019, and the spirit, participation, and energy in our worship services are increasing by the week. Throughout this past year, we have sought to instruct you by teaching and by example of the reason and function of physical and emotional expression in worship. And I am calling us to further engagement in our participation and expression in our worship services. The Bible is filled with examples, commands of physical expression and worship. Psalm 28, Psalm 64, 119, 141, just to name a few. We aren't disembodied spirits. God intends that we use our whole beings to bring Him praise. However, I don't help you grow in God-glorifying expressiveness simply by explaining it to you or telling you to lift your hands or to sing out. No. Directing your gaze towards God's glory in Christ is the act and the vision that produces heartfelt and faith-filled, expressive worship. It's the awe we're after here at Covenant, the spiritual transformation and not merely the emotional inspiration. Well, while we're bound to the comfort and privacy of our own homes, during our times of live-streamed corporate worship, again, we have an opportunity to respond to this challenge, to see what it feels like to lift our hands, to engage physically and expressively with heartfelt praise, to begin to cultivate the fruit of that freedom in Christ and work through the thorns of the fear, the cynicism, the awkwardness that keeps us just merely spectating and not participating fully in worship. I ended my exhortation in my annual report by saying this, quote, "This is key. A few simple acts of physically engaging will change your entire worship experience forever. Give it a try, and you'll know what I mean. That physical display of vulnerability and dependence is not the only way to worship, but it is the best. And it is the quickest way to connect our minds with our hearts. May 2020 be marked by loud singing of wondrous truths and greater freedom and physical response in our corporate worship of a living God." Well, let's take that opportunity this Sunday during our live streamed worship service to come out of our shell in the comfort of our own homes and worship God with all of our heart, with all of our soul, our strength in mind. Hope to see you all soon. God bless.